Hey guys, Roman Reaver here, just back with a quick little review. So I just got done watching Ambulance, the latest film from Michael Bay. I missed this at the cinema for some reason, but I knew I had to watch it on Blu-ray, so I got the Blu-ray in the 2 for 25 HMV, and I gave it a watch this afternoon. So basically, Ambulance follows two brothers, Danny and Will. Will's a decorated veteran, Danny's a career criminal. Will needs a whole bunch of money to pay for his wife's medical bills, and he turns to Danny, hoping for a job, and instead, Danny gives him a huge score, which goes badly, and they're left on the run from law enforcement in an ambulance with not only a paramedic on board, but a wounded cop that one of them shot. So, with a premise like this, it just screams like, contained, tightly paced thrills. And, it's maybe a little on the overlong side. Like, it does take a little bit to get going. And there are sort of like, I want to say moments of flab. Yeah, I would say that. When really you just want the focus to be on this fast-paced, intense chase. But you know what? For the most part, Michael Bay does deliver just good, old-school, fast-paced thrills. This is probably some of the best Bayhem you're going to get, but it's just pure, over-the-top insanity and carnage for 2.25 hours. And it's fairly fast, keeps up a fairly fast pace, so yeah. Even when it sort of feels like it's padding itself out, it's never boring. You're always fairly engaged, and there are a fair amount of decent, tense set pieces, and that is accompanied wonderfully by the cinematography and editing, which really heightens the need for speed. It's admittedly maybe a little too frantic for its own good in places, but it works very well, and there were definitely a fair few moments where I really felt my pulse kind of begin to quicken. And another thing I want to point out about the cinematography, the way Michael Bay, the absolute madman, uses drone shots. There are some absolutely insane ones, like the way it just like dips and dives through the action, and it does these insane flips over buildings and following the ambulance, and the way he manages to fit the camera into like every nook and cranny of this ambulance is just goddamn insane. Like, this is probably some of Michael Bay's most technically accomplished work, which is funny because it's probably one of his most small-scale films to date. Incidentally, there's a reference to The Rock quite early on in the film, which I quite enjoyed. Yeah, because really this is old school Michael Bay, in essence. It's fast, explosive action, frenetic editing, and furious sound mixing that occasionally dialogue is kind of unhearable, like it's a Christopher Nolan film. Fairly simple characters delivering fairly cheesy dialogue, golden hour tracking shots, and some patriotic imagery. This time pro-police rather pro-military. Can you imagine if this had been released in 2020? Yeah, it's a very well acted film as well. Jake Gyllenhaal is having a ton of fun in this kind of unhinged role as his character Danny just kind of gradually loses his grasp on sanity. And Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, as well, does a very good job. He's sort of like the good-natured one of the two, and he just gets increasingly frustrated with Danny's shit as the film goes on. And what I really liked is that the film, through like occasional flashbacks and through like their interactions, really builds up their relationship as what was once an unbreakable bond, you know, gradually, began to loosen as Will joined the Marines and Danny pursued his criminal career. But the level head, obviously, keeping these two, keeping these two together is Isa. Is that how you pronounce it? Gonzalez, from Baby Driver, as the EMT Cam Thompson on board the ambulance. She's like sort of the grown up in the scenario, and and she's a pretty decent, like, strong female character. She's confident and competent and very skilled, but she's also kind of vulnerable and flawed. Never thought I'd be describing a female character in a Michael Bay film like this, but here we are. Yeah. All in all, I had a good time watching Ambulance. It was a lot of fun, good, fast-paced, tense thrills. Maybe a little too long, slightly too frenetic, and obviously the sound mixing is a bit much in places, so you can't really hear the dialogue. But all in all, I liked Ambulance a lot. I'd probably give it another viewing at some point because it's just good, simple, switch your brain off action. This is probably Bayhem at some of its best. I'm going to give Ambulance a 7 out of 10. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen Ambulance? What do you think of it? Let me know down in the comments. What's your favourite Michael Bay film? And don't forget to leave a thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.